Hi everyone, this is the Chungler and welcome back to my Fire Emblem Echoes LTC playthrough. Today we're going to be heading back to the Deliverance Hideout to promote Cliff from Archer to Sniper. He got his last level up in Archer during the Zofia Castle fight, and we want to promote him here at the end of Act 1, because if we don't promote him now, then we would have to spend map movement promoting him in Act 3, which could cause random enemy spawns. So very important to have him promoted here. He gets a nice boost to his defense, but his other stats are at or higher than sniper bases. Particularly he has +2 speed over sniper bases, which is nice because in very late Act 3, Cliff needs at least 9 speed. So with a 55% speed growth as a sniper, he's very, very easily going to hit his required speed benchmark. We then head back to Zofia Castle itself. We pick up everything in the castle except for the blue cheese, the steel lance, and the iron shield. These are all for Celica, but everything else is fair game. We pick up the Rider's Bane, which is a really strong weapon. It has effective damage against Cavaliers and 4 might, so it's essentially a 12 might weapon before forging, which is really awesome. Then we can forge it later for even more effective might. To basically one-shot enemy cavs, which is pretty cool. Clive is going to be our main user of the Rider's Bane for Act 3, and it's going to improve his combat quite a bit. This is also why Clive got a Speedwell after promoting to Paladin, so that he could have a reasonable shot at doubling some of the Cavalier enemies later in the act, and so that he can double some of the Cavaliers in the first Act 3 map with the Speedwell. Talking to Myson up here on the balcony is going to end the act for us, so you want to make sure you have everything done. Off screen, I backtracked to the southern outpost to grab the rusted seal shield, but otherwise we are ready to go with Celica's Act 1, or Act 2. Well, it's Celica's first act. So Celica starts in the Priory, and she is going to recruit 3 units, May, Bowie, and Jenny. May and Bowie are pretty similar. They're both mages, though May is a female mage and Bowie is a male mage, which does have some class differences that I'll talk about later. But we basically want to choose one of either May or Bowie to invest all of our resources in, and they're going to basically juggernaut through the entire Act 2 for us. We also pick up a cog here, which is nice. That gives us 4 turn wheel uses. Pick up some food as well, which will be useful for us for some healing. But yeah, May and Bowie, they're pretty different as mages. May has a very easy time hitting the offensive benchmarks required in Act 2, while Bowie has an easier time hitting the defensive ones. We pick May because I like her reliability in the first few Act 2 maps better than Bowie's in terms of growth. We give May 3 attack fountains out of the Priory wells. There's also speed wells we could have given to her. We could have given May 2 attack and 1 speed, but I decided on giving her 3 attack because it is a little bit more helpful like way earlier in the act for an offensive benchmark, and then it's better for a benchmark really, really late in the game that May needs to hit. So, but 2 attack and 1 speed is viable. We're going to start the first map here, which is in the graveyard. It's going to be our first introduction to grave tiles, though they won't affect us very much. Grave tiles give 60 avoid to whoever's standing on them. This is pretty great for us because all of our units use magic aside from Celica on enemy phase, meaning that we can stand on the grave tiles and get an extra 60 avoid against these terror enemies that use physical weapons. May is going to be routing most of the map here. She 3-hit KOs enemies, so over the course of 2 rounds of combat, she only needs to hit 3 out of 4 fires to kill them, which is pretty nice. We have Bowie and May together just to start building support points right away. Celica and Jenny are going to be in the bottom part of the map, and Celica is going to help out feeding some kills to Jenny. We're going to give her 2 kills The rest of the kills are going to Mei because she's extremely EXP hungry early in the act. Mei has a very demanding EXP threshold to hit by the end of Act 2, so we really want to give her as many kills as we can, which is predictably pretty easy because her offenses are absolutely fucking bonkers. So it's actually pretty easy to just feed her all the kills here, basically. Jenny also just gets in some heals on player phase on Celica just for some EXP. Mei eats some butter, which she tells us tastes like a carcass, but she's got to down it anyway because it's our only 20 healing provision right now. And we want Mei healed up to full to give her the best chance possible at surviving the enemy revenants. She doesn't really have any trouble surviving, but she does sometimes have trouble having enough HP by the end of the phase to cast fire twice on all of the enemies. And we want her to be able to do that, both for EXP purposes and just routing the map generally. Mei is really close to leveling up, which is really nice. One thing with Bowie is it's actually a little bit more difficult to get him a level up in this map because one difference between male and female mage is that male mage gains EXP slower, but it's easier for them to promote. So Mei promotes at level 14, but gains EXP faster, while Bowie promotes at level 12 and gains EXP slower. So that is a pretty significant difference. Mei is easier to get levels on earlier on, but is harder to promote. So that's kind of the difference in terms of EXP. But yeah, Mei is just going to finish all these terrors on enemy phase. Technically possible to 3-turn this map, but we would have to crit kill like 3 enemies or something dumb like that, so we're not going to go for it, obviously. Mei and Jenny get some nice bonus experience on their way to their level thresholds. We're giving Jenny EXP because she needs to learn a spell by like mid-Act 3. So it's pretty important that she gets some EXP, though her EXP benchmark is like way later on than anyone else in this act, so she's not going to be like fed at too many kills, but we still want her to get some. Because level 8 is pretty far away, so. We enter Novis Greatport here. Not really anything notable in this place besides a recruitable character whose name is Saber. He is a mercenary, and while he's not as strong as the mercenaries on Alm's route because he doesn't have access to the lightning sword, he's still very useful in this act because he joins as only our 5th unit, so we kind of have to make use of everyone. His combat isn't too bad. He doubles all of the pirates in the act, but at his base stats right now, he won't double enemy mercenaries, so that is a bit of an issue for him. He starts at level 1, and we need to get him promoted by the end of the act, so that's also another EXP threshold to add onto our plate of already pretty difficult EXP thresholds, so he is actually kind of annoying to feed to promotion, but we'll have to do it anyway. His combat is not very good right now. Mei's combat, for example, is way better because she 1-round KOs pirates, whereas he 2-round KOs them. But he's still going to be very useful for us. So that is Novis Greatport. Then we are going to head to 2-2, which is going to be our first boat party map of Celica's route. We're going to have a lot of boats. We're going to have a lot of boat maps to do, so I should probably get used to them. This map is really easy though because it's basically floored at 3 turns. It's like kind of like the other map where we could complete it in 2 turns, but it would require a bunch of critting, which we're not going to do. But yeah, Mei 1-round KOs every pirate on this map, which is really good for obvious reasons. Bowie as your main mage would need to level up attack to be able to 1-round KO all of these pirates, so it's pretty nice that Mei can just do it pretty easily. Mei has gotten 2 attack procs, which is pretty good. She doesn't need the offense until next map, but it's pretty good to get our thresholds out of the way early. Yeah, because this map is so easy to 3-turn and impossible to 2-turn, basically, we're mostly just concerned with EXP distribution. We're going to get Saber a few kills here, as well as, I believe, get a kill on Celica, because Yeah, we have 4 units that we need to hit EXP thresholds on, so giving a stray kill to Celica is just pretty nice. She has decent offense. She doubles all of the pirates at base, even if she doesn't one-round them. The issue with Celica is she uses swords on enemy phase, so if she didn't use swords, she would be like the ideal mage, because she has like way better defenses than Mei, like worse defenses than Bowie, but they're perfectly fine for what she would need to do. And her offenses can be like brought up to Mei levels if she used fire on enemy phase. But unfortunately she uses swords on enemy phase, so she is not going to be nearly as useful as she could be. Yeah, just feeding a kill to Saber, and I believe Celica actually doesn't get a kill in this clear. We just feed it to Mei because, yeah, when in doubt, feeding a kill to Mei is a pretty good idea. Even if her EXP gain is going to start slowing down because she's really starting to snowball, still okay. Mei 1-round KOs the boss on enemy phase, which she does at base after the Priory fountains. She gets a point of speed here, which is nice, which is 2 speed and 3 level up so far, which is pretty cool. She doesn't need the speed until... She basically needs 1 speed proc and 1 attack proc from her base after 3 levels for the next map coming up here, which is 2-3, the second boat map. So, yeah, our Mei is like well clear of that threshold. She's gotten 3 points of attack and 2 points of speed in 3 level ups, which is honestly nuts. But she only needs 1 attack, 1 speed for this map, so it's actually not as demanding as you might think with Mei. Bowie has a very hard time with this map because he needs to grow speed on a pretty shitty speed growth, as well as like 2 points of attack as well, I believe. That's really unfortunate, but yeah, the strength and speed were to 1-round KO the pirate boss here, which we really need to do because we need all of our player phase actions next turn. Mei gets to level 5 here, as she is on a quest to get to level 11 before a certain point in Act 2. This strat was basically copied from Karma, who posted a clear with Mei, who had base bulk 3-turning this map. I really like this clear because the stat benchmarks are extremely reliable, and the clear itself doesn't require anything ridiculous to happen. Probably the biggest RNG part of this clear is getting 2 pirates to run over towards Saber on the bottom boat, which is actually like kind of annoying, but it's still very doable, so it's not going to be too big a deal. We just turn wheel to prevent Celica from critting these brigands and activating their heal AI, because we don't want them to go run off and heal. We want them to attack on enemy. We want any brigands that Mei doesn't kill to attack us on enemy phase and die. Saber is handling those 2 pirates. The level 3 pirate that he attacks with the golden dagger, he's able to exactly bring the pirate down to half HP, which is really important because he needs to spend his player phase action killing the level 2 pirate who does have healing AI activated, so that level 3 brigand will still attack him on enemy phase, even after doing it the previous enemy phase as well. Mei takes a 20 HP provision from the convoy to stop herself from dying. Celica grabs the leather shield, which Mei got on the previous enemy phase from the mercenary. And Celica and Jenny trade around the leather shield. We want Celica to hit swap by the end of the next map, so it's pretty important that she gets 1 combat with it here. And Jenny takes it so that the pirates attack Mei instead of her. Mei gets her final level up where she finally gets a point of defense, which is pretty nice. She will need a certain amount of defense later in the act, so pretty good that she got it out of the way here. And that is 2-3 completed in 3 turns. I will see you guys next time for the second third of Act 2 and the Pirate Throne. Alright, see you later.